Welcome to today's session. We have different platforms running at the same time. We have Clubhouse for audio, I have Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. So let's get started, okay? If you're new to the space, we go deep in my spaces because I'm a business instructor, transformational coach, and this session is going to be a wonderful experience for you and I. Okay, so welcome, Miss Venetia and Miss Naza. I hope I said your name well. Osiaga, welcome as well. So, when it comes to sales, okay, there are different levels and mastery levels of sales. Sales is a skill that you can develop, right? And if you want to be at the elite level of sales, the first thing you need to know, so I'm dropping gems now. The first thing you need to know is sales is about your own mindset, your own emotions, and your ability to influence the mind and the hearts of the people you want to communicate with. Okay, so I'm already getting started. Also, when it comes to business education, the time we're going to spend together, if you want to extract the most value from this session, you need to have a pen or a piece of paper in your hands because business education, really for entrepreneurs and business owners, has to do with developing the skills to solve challenges in your own business, right? You have to solve your own challenges, right? So, part of this is deep thinking, part of this is extracting meaning. Part of this is going to transform you because at the end of the day, part of becoming a higher level sales professional is growth, right? Is that we have to grow, we have to become more better at it. And in order for you to develop the skills of sales, practice is the key to success. There's no way you can improve a skill without practice. So many times when people consume content, you've read all the books on sales, you've read all the books on branding, you've read all the books, you have the head knowledge, but there's a part of mind body connection, how you train yourself. This is how the elites, right? They break out into success. Okay. In any kind of sport, including business, for example, in basketball, listen, you can understand the fundamentals. What's the fundamental of basketball? Hold the ball, throw it in the hoop. That's all you need to do, right? To do. The same in business. Many people know in theory what to do, right? But they're not able to achieve it. Just because I know what to do in basketball doesn't mean every time you try it, you're going to meet your targets. Sales is that way. So I want to leave you with that understanding. Is that just because you've attempted and you're not yet perfected doesn't mean you should stop trying. Okay? Never stop perfecting your skill. Because once you attain mastery of any skill, you become unstoppable. Okay? So, as a business instructor, I'm just giving you that awareness that sales is a skill that you're supposed to perfect. You can have the head knowledge, but if your hands, if your body hasn't been trained to perform, to embody the energy, the emotion that will help you sell, you still have work to do. Okay, I just dropped that for free. Okay, because many times people focus on just consuming content. Content doesn't help you if you don't digest it and if it doesn't transform you. If it doesn't improve you, if it doesn't grow you, if you don't spend time with it, if you don't chew on it, if you don't wrestle with it, if you don't use it to solve problem and use it over and over and over and over again and continue to improve, people don't grow. And if they don't grow, things don't get better. Their business does not grow as well. So this is one of those sessions that you may want to come back to this a couple of times, right? It's not something you just listen to once. You actually want to make it yours. Okay? So the first question I have for you today is, what do you want the world to know about you? What do you want the world to know about you? Because sales is a transfer, right? It's a think about this as you are here, your mind, your body. You have to communicate a message. There are different vehicles of communicating that message, right? Different approaches, different techniques. All right. It's about persuasion, right? But on the other hand is the receiver. You are the transmitter, and then there's the receiver. And when it comes to psychology, how people think, right? How we reason out, right? When it comes to emotion, how we feel, right? Behavior, beliefs, on and on, is that how you transfer, how you communicate and persuade people to believe and to value. To believe and to value. You want to write those two things down. We want you to believe and we want you to value, premium value. Because when it comes to transaction, we don't buy things we don't value. And value, there are two components to value. Let me again, I'm going deeper and deeper and deeper. When I teach in my school, Toyin Umesiri Academy, we're not joking, right? Business is not well, for those online telling you you can entertain yourself to business. That's not how it is. You actually have to be a problem solver, a solution provider. There's a level of seriousness and focus and dedication required to be an elite business professional. Okay. So, value, there are two components to value. When we say what's the value of your product, because part of sales and persuasion is you want people to see the value. We use this phrase value, 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 but what I've done for my students is to break value down. There are two sides to value, there are two components to value, right? There's the logical, intellectual component of value, which is tied to utility, usefulness. Okay? The mind, when the mind wants to achieve something, when the mind wants to do something, when people want to do something, achieve something, we are always seekers of things that help us do it better or teaches us how to achieve it better. Okay, so whenever we're in search, right, of achievement, whenever we have goals, whenever we have missions, whenever we are focused on completing a task, we are always, whether you know it or not, this is something that is happening in every one of us. We are always looking for a better way to achieve it, right? Or things that will help us achieve. So, for example, if you're building a house, the moment you set your mind that you want to build a house, guess what? You activate the mind. The mind will start going in search of everything it needs to build the house, right? If you want to go to school, the mind will start searching, right? What types of school? What do you need to study? The mind is put to work when we have a mission, when we have a goal at hand that we want to accomplish. So, part of what we consider valuable are things that are useful in our pursuit, things that we consider helpful in fulfilling the mission at hand. So, one of the ways you can capture when it comes to psychology is you have to demonstrate the usefulness, right? The usefulness of your product and services. Because again, there's logic tied to value. Okay, that's why when you present something, when people take a look at it, in the mind is trying to understand, can I make use of this? How useful is this to me? In what capacity, right? Can I use what is being presented? And when they don't find it useful, if the mind cannot easily comprehend and find it useful, guess what? You move on. But if the mind says, wait a minute, yes, I can find a need for it. Oh, in my house, I was trying to do this. Yes, I was trying to do this. Oh, I remember this person was trying to do this as well. That's also what leads to referral, is that if we know somebody else that is also trying to do something, we can refer you as well. So there's logical, intellectual usefulness tied to value. The second component tied to value is emotional. Okay? We pursue things for emotional reasons. We try to achieve things for emotional reasons. So, why do you need to pursue these goals? Beneath it is what gives meaning to our actions, why we do things, right? We don't just invest or pursue goals aimlessly. We pursue things that helps us become who we want to become. So there is logic, what we want to do, what we want to accomplish, very, very logical, IQ driven. Why we are driven to achieve what we're trying to achieve is because of who we want to become or how we want to be perceived. or who we want people to know us to be, right? So it's about being and doing. So anything that allows us to be who we want to be and to do the things we want to do, we consider it valuable. Okay, so now is reverse psychology. And greetings, everyone. Again, this is Coach Toyin. I'm diving deeper. I'm the founder of the Entrepreneurs Academy, author of Mindset of an Entrepreneur, instructor and coach, transformational coach. And today I'm hosting a session just on social media, trying to help you understand how to unlock more sales using psychology and EQ. My classes can be accessed at toyinumesiri.academy. This is my academy. It has all my classes. It's the most advanced, most robust training program for entrepreneurs and business owners, right? I'm honored to do programs and launch programs for United Nations. So listen, at the end of the day, this work, I'm driving it deeply into the ecosystem, right? My husband is a university professor, so I come from the world of academia. My late father was part of establishing two universities. So at the end of the day, my contribution is to become a world class, right? Serving you as a world class business educator, right? Bringing this knowledge because people struggle and fail for lack of knowledge. We have schools and programs for those who want to become a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a computer scientist, a mathematician. What is missing and which is the gap I'm feeling is that when you decide you want to become an entrepreneur, right? The program and training you have to subject yourself to develop the skills, to acquire the knowledge, develop the skills, know what strategies to deploy to achieve the success you desire. That's what my school is solving for. My books, my classes, my programs, we solve for that. Okay. So whether we want to grow your business locally here in the US or internationally, right? That's it. Those are the things I cover, right? So whether I'm bringing in government resources or talking about investor opportunities or classes or courses, everything that I'm fanatical about is the training, the development of the self, intellectual level, emotional level, right? Physical well-being, energetic level, the development of the elite business professional. What does it take? Right? What training do we take ourselves through to become competitive in the marketplace? You can go from 0 to 100%, right? Fully upgraded in my school. So I welcome you to check it out, toyinumesiri.academy, and enroll in the programs as well. Okay. What do you want people to know about you? Because again, it's transferring. One of the challenges, particularly first-time entrepreneurs face, is that within you, you know why you're doing what you're doing. But here's the key. You have to develop the skill to be able to communicate it in such a way that other people can buy into it. Okay? And it's a process. Communication is a process, it's a skill. And one of the skill is the inner work you have to do to gain clarity about what is going on within you. Because a lot of times people have frustrations. That's why I said sales is not just about the psychology of the buyer and the emotions of the buyer, but you'll be amazed that it is actually so much more about the seller, you, the professional, your own psychology, how you think, how you process information, what's running through you, and your state of being. That's actually what sells, right? So at the elite level, right, you want to sell like those who sell multi-million dollar properties at the elite level. This is where the power of personal development. Listen, you can have the best product in your hands. If you do not improve yourself, gain clarity, confidence, audacity, communication skills to convey, to persuade, right, to communicate, right, and influence the thoughts and emotions of other people in a powerful way to ensure they believe and they value whatever you're bringing and putting in front of them. And the first thing you're putting in front of them is yourself. We have to buy into you. We have to believe you. We have to trust you for us to even listen to you and consider whatever it is you're saying. So that's why in my school, we have to go on this journey of self-actualization, because part of that journey, if you don't grow, If you refuse to grow, it's very difficult for your business to grow past you. Your business cannot grow past you because you're the life force behind it. So when I ask, what do you want the world to know? It means you have to sit with yourself first and check in. What exactly are you trying to communicate to the world? When all is said and done, what do you want people to walk away with? Right? Anytime you have a conversation with a prospect, right, it's an opportunity, right, to engage heart and mind, heart to heart, mind to mind, HH, right? Human to human communication. Every time you're in a sales conversation, okay, that can lead to a transaction. When people walk away, what do you want them to walk away with? What do you want to leave behind in their hearts and mind? You have to get ready to answer this. Okay, I see comments. Ochiaga says, well said. Your business can't grow past you. Yes, 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 absolutely. Because there's knowledge. Okay, you have to embody knowledge. So let me even make it more practical. There's a side of sales that is about leadership. Listen, when people come to you, you've got to know something they don't know, and you have to be able to do something they cannot do. That's what people pay you for. Solving specific problems, right? Providing specific solutions. That's what you're rewarded for. So people come to you for leadership. Your clients, customers, they are coming to you to lead them in heart and mind. Give them what they need, what they want, what will help them achieve the goals they want to achieve and become the person they want to become. That's the only reason people will move close to you. People move close to us for their own needs. So if you don't have something to offer, something valuable, when I use the phrase value, I've broken it down in my school. Value, what people are trying to do mentally, about, because IQ is about doing, EQ is about being. Okay? IQ is about achievement. When it's tied to doing things, building things, putting things together, creativity. When it's time to do, to create, to put things together, we always have to gather the raw materials, right? Anybody that is building something, it's about productivity. Anybody that wants to achieve a goal will need raw materials to put protons and neutrons together. You want to write a book, right? You're going to need some things. Okay? When it comes to doing, IQ helps us do the knowledge we embody helps us develop the skills to do, to perfect, to perform. And so we go in search of things that help us do it better or teach us how to do it. Now, beneath that is the emotion of becoming. Who do you become when you achieve your goals? When you win the Olympics, who do you become? Why do we pursue winning the Olympics? Why do we want to be the best? Why do you want to be an actor? Why do you want to be a politician? Why do you want to be a business owner? You're going to do and you're going to build. But ultimately, who do you become? Who we want to become makes us pursue a better future for ourselves. So there are two components to value: helping people do and helping people become. And as an entrepreneur and business owner, if you don't have any of those capacity, right? If you have not much to offer, or if you are unable to comprehend how to articulate that value in a way that people can conceptualize and hang on to, then you can sell. You can sell. Because, and you know, this is why I want you to answer this question. When you engage with your prospects, What do you want them to know? What do you want them to walk away with? This is the space. It's about occupying space in the hearts and the minds of people. How do you want them to think about you, your work, your products and services, your ability to understand that and then to put it as part of your communication is what leads to transformation. Because there's your psychology, your emotions, and then your prospects psychology and their emotions. And sales is your ability to influence how they think and how they feel in a positive direction, right? In a direction that they actually want to go. Right? That's why the leadership is you lead them, you nudge them in the direction that helps them become and helps them to achieve. You lead them. So if you cannot influence, or if you cannot lead, if you cannot communicate, this is part of the skills you have to develop. Okay? So what do you want people to walk away with? What is the value of your product and services? Again, value. When we say value, people say, oh, money. Listen. money is not the first thing. Money flows into value. We use money. Money is a utility, is a tool, is a utility, something we use to acquire the things we value. We spend money on things that can help us do and help us be. Okay. Am I going too fast? Let's see if there are more comments or questions. I see Andrea. Who else? Caleb. I see Caleb. Ochiaga. I see you guys. If you want to come up and engage. Right. So we spend money. We use money to acquire. Money is a tool. Right. And I've taught this in my school about the flow of money when it comes to trade by barter before evolution of monetary policies, how government got involved, why they print money, on and on and on. It's an intermediary form of value exchange. So the value exchange is the most important thing first. Right? Your ability to present value, to communicate value, to help people see value. If you achieve that, listen, and the magnitude of the value, the importance of what people want to achieve, okay, and the respect people have in terms of who they want to become, how much they are ready to invest in becoming that. That is what influences pricing. Okay, what influences pricing is tied to the dedication, commitment, level of intensity of desire to become, a desire to achieve. The higher the desire, you can price it higher. I won't go too much into that. Caleb, welcome. Any thoughts, questions as we keep diving into this practical training and session on unlocking sales with psychology and EQ? Go ahead, Caleb.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Good.
Nothing much yet, though.
Any immediate reaction?
Yeah, money is something that helps you, we purchase something that helps us do and be. We spend on things that help us do and be. That's cool. That stood out for me. And then again, something you said severally though about how your business cannot go beyond you. I read about I think that line in a book I bought one time for business, but it didn't really make much sense as it's making now. Maybe because I finally decided to invest more time in in building my brand, maybe focusing full time on my business. It's actually making more sense to me now.
Okay, let me dive into that because it's very important. A business cannot grow bigger than you. The reason is because the vision you embody, the picture you see in your mind, is the one you're going to represent and manifest. Okay, you are the architect of your own reality. You are the one designing your life. This is why I always encourage people to expose themselves. Right? When I host events, when I host ambassadors, when I host world leaders, when I host government leaders, is that when you step into a room where people are thinking big, where they are conquering, where they are literally designing cities and nations, you will join them in thinking big. Okay? because you are only able to manifest your own vision. You can't manifest somebody else's vision. You can't create a life you didn't conceive. You can't have another person's baby. The baby in you is the one you are going to give birth to. So remember that book, Think Big? Listen, the size of your dreams is the size of the future you can manifest and you can create. Pretty much. And nobody can give this to you, by the way. This is the gift you give your own life. The best thing other people will offer you, I won't even go there. This is why I always challenge people. I challenge you. Invest. When you see a big future in front of you, if God gives you a picture of a great future, you better throw everything you've got at it. The bigger the future, the more it will eat up. The more hungry. Your future is hungry. Somebody wants to build a one-story building. Somebody wants to build a skyscraper. Which one is going to consume more energy, resources, capacity in the world? The biggest dreams. So what I see people doing is they are putting peanuts on a dream to go to space. It doesn't add up. Many of the things people are doing do not add up. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It does. Listen to me. I listen to a lot of people. They'll tell me, oh, this. But when you take a look, they are bringing a shovel to a bulldozer conversation. You want to excavate, you want to create the foundation of your future, you are bringing shovel. Okay. I always say it's like people driving bicycle when they ought to be riding a plane or flying plane. If somebody flying a plane and somebody riding a bicycle are going to the same destination, who will get there first? Who will suffer the most? That's what's going on, even in the world of business, the world of entrepreneurship. No, everybody's not on the same plane. Everybody's not playing at the same level. Everybody's not coming at this with the same skills, the same relationships, the same audacity, the same work. No. So whatever you bring to your life, whatever capacity you bring to whatever it is you're doing, that's all you've got. You plant one seed and you want a forest. Listen, nature will laugh at you. You want a forest, start planting thousands of trees. If you want to see that forest manifest, please gather the troops, plant thousands of trees. When you see a vision, please make sure your moves, your daily intentional activities is directly proportional to what you say you want for yourself. That's the way you manifest. That's the way you manifest. You cannot be telling me you want this. This is why I created my school. Listen, it's for visionary entrepreneurs and business owners, people who have a big vision. And because you will invest time, you will do the work to develop yourself. Anybody that doesn't want to do this work I'm talking about, bye. See ya on the right. Right? You did that to yourself. Anybody that is not ready to roll up the sleeves and subject themselves to the best training in the world cannot be the best and cannot compete with the best. You compete at your own level. Life is fair. You compete at your own level. So if you want more levels, you want more success, you want to go for government stuff, the best opportunities in the world of business, become the best. Train to become the best. You cannot say, oh, I'm Tiger Woods, and when it's time to show up, you don't show up. When it's time to practice, you don't practice. Who are you kidding yourself? No. Your moves must match. You must make some noise. You must move, you must invest, you must show up, you must do certain things that matches everything you say you want out of life. And when you're not ready to do that, it's okay. For you, when I say it's okay, I mean it's your decision. Everybody gets to decide the life they want to live, right? You decide by the decisions you make and the actions you're willing to take. But those of us that we are not stopping, that really we're hungry. You know, when I talk about desire will put you to work. You want to eat the best food and you don't want to work for it. Who will feed you? Who will keep? Listen, I'm very practical in my teaching. I don't mess around with all the stuff people are saying. Oh, a little here, a little there. You are driving, the people are offering you bicycles on the streets. Where will it take you? If you listen, don't hurt yourself. Right? Don't hurt yourself. If you want to fly a plane, build an engine. When I talk about systems, processes, I served as a strategy for Fortune 1, the biggest company in the world. I don't think like, right? I understand what it takes to compete at the highest levels. And I dedicated myself to build a world-class school, right? To help train business owners, entrepreneurs that want to compete at the highest levels. Now, you decide what level you want to play. So again, back to that saying, listen, if you don't grow, what do you have to offer your business? Because the skills you have, the knowledge you have, the relationships you can tap into, the energy and resources you have, that's all you can contribute towards the growth of your business. That's practical. That's a no-brainer, right? Like, that's all you can contribute. But, excuse me, but you can unlock, you can build greater capacity. Let me also share something with you. Very practical, or talking about money. When we say money is what we use, okay, to acquire the things that we consider useful to doing the work we want to do and becoming the person we want to become. One of the things, I like painting pictures. I'm an author, right? I like helping people imagine so that you remember, okay? Just think of a river flowing. When the government prints money to aid transactions, value exchange in an economy, right? Talk about GDP, all those things, right? The transactions and the exchange of goods and services, on and on and on. Okay. Consider that money is a river. Paint a picture. Money is flowing, okay, through the economy, through transactions, value exchange. We trade with one another. Okay. If you're an entrepreneur and a business owner, and you are living in a society where you can participate in that economy, nothing is holding you back from engaging, okay, in the marketplace, in the transactions, right? There's nothing stopping you. You have an enabling environment. You have the tools, you have the capacity. Nothing is stopping you from transacting. The question is, when we talk about leverage, what are you going to build to fetch from that river? Are you going to have a spoon, a cup, right? Or bucket? Or there's some nice strategy where you actually build your factory next to the river. You'll be pumping the water. Think of a business as that, the structure you're going to put in place that allows you to transact, to exchange value in the marketplace. And so some people will only go to that river, taste, and that's it, or build a spoon, get a spoon, scoop, that's it. Some people will build something bigger so that they can participate bigger in the market transaction, market flow. Right? So when you say Fortune 500 company, it's because they keep on building structures so that they can extract more value, extract more value, extract more value. But guess what? First, you have to build a structure, you have to build a brand, you have to build processes, you have to build a structure that allows you to participate legally in that marketplace. And the bigger the structure itself will consume energy to build. But the reason we invest in building the structure is because we know when we build the structure, we can participate, right? You can participate to the degree, leverage, the degree you can engage with the marketplace, create value on behalf of your shareholders, contribute value into the marketplace, and extract value. But here's the thing, watch out. Many people come to entrepreneurship with poverty mentality. They want to take, they don't want to give. They fail at the whole point of this process. You will invest to build your own capacity. You will contribute, right, to the marketplace. Based on your contribution, the marketplace will take notice of you, will regard you, respect you, and then go, looks like you can solve something for us. Let's work together. So the principles of prosperity, it's different from many of the things people are coming in with. Okay? So yes, think of money as a river. If you're a business owner, what structure are you going to put in place? What's the strength, capacity of that structure to contribute value and to extract value for you and the shareholders? You contribute to people's lives, you make other people's lives better, right? Listen, if you go to a Walmart store, you take something, you don't give something into it. Listen, there's a name we call those people. So part of participation in the marketplace is give and take transaction. It's give and take. And if you're not ready to give, there's no taking. There's no taking. So to the level of your own readiness, first of all, we even say the starting point is, have you even invested in yourself? Have you invested in yourself the knowledge, develop the skill, the capacity that you need to become a participant in that economy? Many people are still struggling at that first junction. They don't want to invest in themselves. They don't want to grow. They don't want to develop skill. The next journey would be your business is also hungry. What are you willing to bring to the business, to structure it, to build it right, to standard, so that you can gain the respect in the marketplace, so that you can position your brand as a trust magnet? That's work. It's work. So when people haven't even invest, yes, they're still fighting and struggling at level 1. Oh, invest in yourself. Mindset is still confused. Oh, why do I need to invest? Oh, no, you not invest. That internal fight, figure it out. You want to be a doctor. People tell you to go to school. You are saying, no, you don't want to go to school, but you want to be a doctor. Oh, no. People will look at you like it's a joke. Are you kidding me? How are you going to be a doctor if you don't want to subject yourself to learning, to embody the knowledge that will help you participate and perform the duties of that job? So many of those things I see it today. It doesn't add up. It doesn't add up when people who want to be professionals don't invest to develop the skill. It doesn't add up. Because you cannot contribute to this. You cannot claim to be a doctor if you don't embody the knowledge. And sales is the same thing. It's the same. Sales is a skill. You have to embody the knowledge and develop the skills that will help you sell what you want to sell in the marketplace, help you be able to contribute and communicate, right? So I'm very, 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 very serious about this. Let's get it right. At the highest levels, there's no playing. I serve on the board of a publicly traded company. So when I'm talking on social media and challenging those who are coming behind us to hurry up and grow and mature, I mean it. Because it's not a game. It's not a game. It's serious. It's livelihood. It's legacy. It's impact. It's transformation. It's the economy. It's the sustenance of livelihood of people. So if you cannot take your own seriously, please, who is ready to commit themselves? Who is the client or customer that wants to commit their own future in your hands? Right? Because it's about leadership. How can you lead people to a place you've not been to? Right? So if I'm calling people out to say, about time we get serious. You're going to lead your prospects and your clients. You're going to solve for them. So I'm challenging you, start practicing solving for yourself. So let me come back to what I'm teaching today in a practical way. But listen, there's a psychology, there's a mindset that allows you to be successful. And there's a lot of mindset that doesn't help people. It doesn't help. You are believing things that is not going to help you be the best in class in these spaces. Part of the challenge, right, as my student, when I talk to my students, is let's work on ourselves. Let's deal with those things instead of, people who complain and all of those things. It doesn't work that way. We, at the sales level, we always have to come back to the drawing board and say, what can I do better, right, to convey this message? What am I not communicating? What do I need to say? And then also seeking to then understand the psychology and emotion of the people you want to serve, the people you want to help, right? the people you want to contribute in a valuable way to them. And what I've shared also is value. That value you want to contribute. What do we want people to know about that value? What do you want them to walk away with? What do you want them to understand? And then the question is, how are we going to communicate that in such a way that they understand? And until they understand, you have to keep on trying to help them understand. Caleb? Okay, let's see. There's more. Ochiaga say, please go deeper into how pricing and desire are related. Ochiaga says, so much gems. Okay. I'll take note of that. Caleb, any
Yeah.
go on, please. Pricing.
No, not at the moment. Let me hold.
Okay. So there's a question that came in on the relationship between pricing and desire. Okay. It's going to take me off. Give me a moment. I've taken a note of this. Okay, I'm going to come to it, but let me just share a few more things, and then I want to dive into this more, because when I teach, this is something in my school as well. Pricing strategy, business model engineering, right? Everything is connected. So I don't just want to answer you in a shabby way. I want to go deeper into it, but let me finish sharing what's on my mind, and then I've taken notes of that, and I'll come back to it. We also see Breakthrough Barry says, absolutely, yes. Okay. So what is the value of your products and services? Get clear. I've talked about logical value, helping people do things, achieve things, and then the emotional side of value, who people want to become, your ability to communicate that. Sales is about transfer. What do you believe? What do you embody? How are you thinking? How are you feeling? Your ability to hold that space in a positive way and encourage people, because it's leadership. You're leading people. When we say lead, Lead, I say letting people, right? People who want to really solve their own challenges, or you know, should I say dissonance? In this world, right? There's rhythm, there's a rhythm, there's a vibe. The way we are made up at the emotional layer is that we all want to be happy, we all want to be at peace, we all want joy, we all want wellness, well-being. We crave that as being. And most of the time, people seek that out. Okay, you are always seeking to become who you want to become. The moment you know you can become more, game changer, desire is activated. It's going to connect to pricing. So I'm using this opportunity to just start dropping a little bit things that will build up to when I answer that question on pricing and desire. When you know you want to become more, okay, and you are committed to becoming more, and you will not settle for less, you've activated something divine in your being. And those who haven't activated that, there's nothing much. They're not going to invest, because we invest in the future, in who we want to become and the things we want to be able to do. Right? So the most successful people in the world, trust me, they have so much regard and respect for their future. They throw everything into that future. They are running into the future instead of holding on to the past. The least successful people, they are more energetically entwined with their past. They've not disconnected. So the past holds them in the past. And so when you say, let's go into the future, let's build a business, they will be the voice and the stories they will be telling you will all be about their past, because they've not taken time out to see the vision of the future. That's something to watch out for. Okay? So what do you believe? What do you want them to believe? What do you know? What do you want them to know? Okay, how are you going to communicate? What vehicles are you going to use to communicate and engage with them? In my school, there's a whole sales process. You have to, like, if you're an entrepreneur or business owner, your ability to engineer a sales process that your sales team can run through over and over and over and over again to generate leads, to close leads. There's specific processes, okay, There are specific processes you have to design, and it's specific to industry, it's specific to product types, it's specific to service type, it's specific to market conditions, right? Because when it comes to even price, which I'll answer shortly, right? Many people are trying to price without understanding of the market conditions, okay, and the laws of demand and supply. You can play more with pricing when demand is high. That's another thing. Again, I've taught this in my school. I'll just give you highlights, okay? Part of this is also trust. What is the concept of trust? Because we buy from people we trust. What is the concept of trust? It's about reliability. We can bank on you. I always say be bank, right? If we can bank on you, if you've been tried and tested and proven to be secure, believable, secure, confident, people can invest. But if you're not bankable, today you're this, tomorrow you're that. That's why I said it's part of your own emotion. Many people come into the marketplace unsecured, doubting, fearing. You can't sell in that condition. Nobody's buying your doubts and fears. Nobody's interested. And at the energetic level, if you don't deal, that's why the EQ classes in my school dedicated to doing this work. Master those things, because if you keep showing up into the marketplace at an energetic vibration of doubt, people cannot trust you. If you haven't trusted yourself, you've not trusted yourself, why are you asking people to trust you? You don't trust your own voice, the words coming out, the things you are saying. You don't trust yourself. The moment you are speaking, you're like, oh this, oh that. You are saying nobody. Do you want to buy? Because lack of trust is low quality. If you can't trust you, then it's cheap. It's cheap. So let me just stop there, because there's a lot of again, psychology, EQ. The reason I teach, like my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur, right? If you want to go from corporate to become an entrepreneur, you've got to change your mindset. You have to. You cannot be thinking like an employee, right? When you're an entrepreneur, you cannot be. If you bring over that mindset of limitation, of lack of survival, of always it doesn't work. It's like the lion in the zoo versus the lion in the wild. They can have the same DNA. You can believe in your heart that you can do this work, but guess what? You have to get to work training yourself. So my book, Mindset of an Entrepreneur, also covers how you have to start thinking when you come out of corporate. It's different. Okay. So let me see if there's another. Go ahead, Caleb.
Oh, okay, thank you. I think, yes, this thought brings to my mind. You picked it up again when you're talking about the mindsets of an entrepreneur. There is the bias psychology. You mentioned that earlier in this session. There's bias psychology, and I train digital marketing, so that's part of the things that's always in the outline, talking about bias psychology, emotions. But I think you're the person that usually points out that not only bias psychology is important, this psychology and this emotion is important, and it's just so how do I put it? It's so, I think it's only in your space, you get to hear that kind of thing very well, about how you have to also understand your own psychology for selling, and understand your own emotions, how those things play an important role, and emotions that go ahead with it. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, and by the way, I think this is a good place to just also help people understand. When you're building a business, the stages of a business, what I call business life cycle, each stage of the business, you have to bring to it a different version of you. The place of sales requires a different version of you to do the work. So when you are building, okay, you have an idea. It usually starts at an idea. You think you can do this, you think you can solve this problem, you think. Well, guess what? You now have to start writing, you have to start planning. The version of you, the side of you that can do that early work is the visionary, somebody that can see what others cannot see. It's like the architects. You know, architects will dream, they will draw you a drawing of their vision of what they saw in their mind. Artists will say, oh, they see abstract things, they'll paint it. The very beginning stage of every business is you have to be a visionary. You have to be able to see something people can see. And you then have to, in a way, document. You have to believe in what you are seeing. You see, that first stage is all in you. This is when people are trying to convince other people to buy into their idea. And that's where they struggle. They say, oh, I saw this person's advice. I saw this person's advice. This person didn't believe in me. This person didn't invest in me. It's because you are still dealing in the abstract space. Selling abstract is a different skill. It's a skill. Sales also does that, particularly in the world of services. Because if it's a physical product, I'll just say buy this pen and I'll explain it. But when you have to create imagination in the hearts and minds of other people, not just your own heart and mind, but in the hearts and other people, you have to activate imagination. But the first stage of business life cycle is your own imagination. How imaginative can you be? Right? That idea, what is it saying to you? What is it showing you? So that you can believe. The idea first asks you to invest in the idea. You are the first investor in your own ideas. Right? You are the first investor in your own idea. Before you ask other people to invest in your ideas, you have to believe it. You have to hold it there. You have to cherish it. You have to believe it. You have to see it. So the visionary side of you, the architect side of you, the believing side of you is that side that handles that baby. It's like a mom pregnant first trimester. It's a delicate moment. You want to hold that belief, right? You want it to be solid. You now move into more of build. So there's ideation, there's planning. I'm just skipping here. You move into build, and all of this is available in my school, toyinumesiri.academy, because again, it's about creating awareness and educating entrepreneurs how to achieve success. Okay. This thing is not rocket science, but if you're ignorant, right? Knowledge is your power. Okay. We now come into build. What version of you can build a business? Is the skilled version of you. No skill, no building. The architect can draw on paper and we will all smile because they are very good at describing their vision to us. But the architect is not the contractor. He's not the plumber. He's not the engineer. Right? It's not the person to bring the steel, to lay the foundation. That's why I always tell entrepreneurs, be the visionary, but roll up your sleeves and develop skills because you are going to build. Right? And if you don't, you will now have to learn plumbing. Right? Everything that will hold your structure, your business structure together, branding, marketing, sales, this, all those things. If you don't learn it, you can't fly your plane. A pilot that doesn't know anything about engine, only knows the dashboard. The plane is not taking off. The skilled version of you is the one that can build. This is why I emphasize skill development. You can read all you want and be knowledgeable all you want, but if you cannot do, okay, hire people who can do. If the skill you have, the game changer skill, is you're a visionary, okay, visionary, please hire doers and talented people, because this business needs talent and skills. Now, when it comes to growing, say, okay, you've built it. You now have the product. You have the services. You have the website. You have the this. You have the this. You are proud. You've built everything. Who is going to sell it? That's what we're talking about today. That's what I'm talking about today. The version of you that built may not have the skills of communication and the mind, because the closer people are to what they built, they cannot separate themselves, right? Because sales actually requires you to take a different position, right? You have to take a different position to sell. But if you're still the builder trying to sell, oh, you chase people away, because all you'll be saying is, my product is the best thing, my product is this. Who cares? Who really cares? Does the market care about? The market doesn't care enough about your products until you make them care that your products can aid them, right? Can help them, can serve them, can be valuable to them. If your product is only valuable to you because you created it, we clap for you. We cheer you on. We will like, share, we will admire you for what you've done for yourself. Sales is what you can do for other people. How you take what you've created, you take it into the marketplace and you offer the marketplace, right, what it can contribute to other people's lives. It's a different version that does that work. So the growth of an entrepreneur, if you don't grow, you are still the person saying, I have this idea, I have this idea. All I'm hearing you say listen, I know people like this. We have encountered them for the last 1 year. They talk about ideas. 2 years, ideas. You can talk about ideas all you want for 5 years. Listen, if you don't develop skill, if you don't learn, if you don't grow, you cannot build. Nobody's coming to build anything for anybody. Oh, do you know, Toyin, we can do this. Oh, I can do this. Okay, do it now. What's stopping you? Lack of skills, ignorance, and lack of skills. So people who do not prioritize this space that my academy occupies, skill development, they can't transform from the visionary, right, into the builder, into the sales. They cannot move to the other side. So people are stuck in a circle of always dreaming, always trying, always dreaming. Because for you to move forward, you have to grow. And the way you grow is with skill. And it takes years. That's why most of the businesses that actually perform the best in the world, you find that it might be their second, third attempt at building a business. What usually happens is that first, second round is your training school. And this is where they learned everything that doesn't work. And they extract the one that works and they apply it until you know what works, which is what my school has already documented. This works. Psychology works. EQ works. This works. I'm offering you what works, but you want to go and try the next 5 years. Okay? After 5 years, you will come out with all this stuff doesn't work. That's what you learn. A school will tell you what's working. They filtered out the things that doesn't work. You want to be a doctor. Do you know how many people in the last 100 years have documented what works and they've put it in a book? Read what works and it will work for you. But if you refuse to learn what works and you say you want to go on your own journey, you will learn what is not going to work first. Before you get to what works, you encounter all the things that doesn't work. And people give up on that journey. You try this, doesn't work. You try that, it doesn't work. You try this, you be like, oh, yes. Because do you want to learn the strategies, the skills, the systems that works, that's been proven to work, or you want to figure out what's not going to work? That's the decision people have to figure out today. You can go online, gather all the truth, gather all the knowledge, gather all the content. You don't know what you are gathering. Now you have to filter. That's one of the things about content. Everything is everywhere. But after you gather, you now have to filter and sort what's going to work. It doesn't automatically work. Copy and paste doesn't really work because you have to undo it, right? People can tell you, the reason I go into psychology and emotion is because people can tell you this is what worked for them. For it to work for you, your mind, the mind, right? And the heart with which you handle those things must be the same heart and mind that made it work. If I give you my tools and you don't know how to work it, somebody gives you a car, you don't know how to drive it. That's what's going on. Somebody can tell you this is how you fish, but you have to put your heart and mind, go to the stream and apply those tricks. You have to develop your mind and body to use anything anybody offers you. That's why in my school, tons of workbooks. Because I know in my teaching practice, I can tell you this, but what I want is skill development. And to develop skills, I give you assignments. I'll give you questions. I'll give you questionnaires, right? In my school, we do the work because all this content people are seeing out there, if it doesn't give birth to transformation, if you don't work it. So everybody will be consuming content. You can consume content all you want. I'm telling you, the way you develop skill is not consumption of content, is the processing It's the putting to work, it's the practice, it's the discipline. Because you have to train your mind and body to perform. You have to train your heart, your mind to believe. And if you're not ready to subject yourself to that training, content does nothing. It's a waste. It's a waste of time and energy. When people keep content, right? If the problem is content, everybody should be a millionaire right now, because you can do ChatGPT, you can Google. Content is not the problem. I'm telling you, the problem is the transformation you subject yourself to, through, right? To, right? And the discipline, right? The mental discipline, the emotional discipline to pressure yourself to perform duties that will grow your capacity. That's what people are not doing. And if you don't do that, you are not growing. And if you don't grow, you cannot build. You don't have the capacity to build. So I'm very, 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 very specific on this. The whole point I built a school. Listen, I teach, I coach. I'm not a content creator. I'm a business instructor, business educator, transformational coach. So you don't transform just by consuming content. You don't. You don't. If it's content, everybody should be rich by now. Everybody should be balling. I'm telling you the secret of success. You have to subject yourself to the pressure of learning and growing. You have to become somebody else than the person listening to me now. Okay, so let's come back to that question that was asked earlier on pricing and desire. Okay, let's see. There's also a comment here. Hello, Toyin. This information is useful and can be readily applied. You look great. Okay, thank you, Africa Sis. Okay, thank you. I appreciate the encouragement. Keep it coming, guys. Keep the questions coming. Are we ready for learning more about pricing and desire? Okay. Woo! This is delicious. You see, desire. There's something powerful about desire. One of my sayings, and my students know this already, I say, passion sells, desire buys. Now, I'm a writer. I'll use words that carry so much meaning. Listen, one sentence, you chew it for life. My passion, your passion as an entrepreneur, makes us invest time, energy, and resources to create solutions. That's my own side of the equation. I'm passionate enough, okay, about my life to invest myself in being more productive and creating value for the world. You see, there's an equation here. My first degree is mathematics. So this transaction, value exchange, is an equation of life. Many people jump to the other side. You know, when you say X plus this equals to this, you are crossing over. No, don't cross over. Stay on your side. If you're an entrepreneur, be passionate about your creation. Be passionate about your creation. Listen, be happy that you did the work to become and to do. That's your investment in yourself and your future. The person you become, right? The person you became that was able to create value. You build the capacity. I built myself, build the capacity to create a school that I can use to teach on and on and on. My side of the equation is clear to me. Remember, I talked about psychology. You've got to get clear about why you're doing what you're doing and who you're doing it for. Your motivations, your intentions. Get clear. Okay. You see, on the other side, the only person that can invest is somebody that desires the promises that my creation offers. I'm looking for people who value what I've committed and created. You see, Apple will passionately create the iPhone and they will put it out there. We are passionate about creators. We love this. Right? Who will buy an Apple phone? Only the people who activate desire, who have a longing, who has a use of Apple products. It will help them do and it will help them be. In fact, Apple taps into being a lot more than doing. That's why many people who naturally are passionate about life, artists, creative people, they fall in love with Apple because they identify with Apple products. It's about being who I'm. And that's why they create a fan. You can only create a fan club when you have a product or service that is about being, identity, being who I am. Just because of who I am, I identify with this stuff. This stuff makes me like be more of me. Mercedes Benz, be more of me. BMW, be more of me. So it is tied to the respect I have for myself. We go to certain restaurants, luxury restaurants, because it allows me to enjoy more of me. Okay? And what I have found in this life, not everybody respects themselves enough to go in search of what helps them be more of them. Not everybody pursues to be more. Not everybody believes in more. And that intensity of desire to be more, desire to do more, that intensity, if we can measure it, listen, also drives how much people want to invest financially to acquire the things that will help them be and do. It's tied to pricing. It's actually it's a lot easier to sell to successful people. It's a lot easier. I don't have to be talking like this. Even when I'm in the boardroom, I don't even talk. Do you approve? I approve. We move on. It's not this complicated. Do you understand? Because successful people understand the concept of value and they act immediately. You don't need to be it's a different game. They already know and they value their life. And they value the life they are creating, and they've been investing tremendously in that life, and they will continue to invest more in holding to that life for themselves and their children and their grandchildren. They value life, and those who value life invest greatly in that life they value. You value Taylor Swift, you will drop how many thousands of dollars is the ticket. You want to be in the room, right? What you value to the level, listen, it's not enough to just say you value music, because you can buy $10 download. If it is the music, it's the experience. So those who value certain experiences, who want to be right at a certain level in life, they give to that level what that level deserves. You want to be the president, you will give it, you will campaign, you travel all over convincing people. You give your energy to the things you value. And that value and the intensity determines how much people are ready to invest. How bad do you want this? You can say you want it, but there is levels. Because that hunger is what drives movement, is what drives investment, is what drives your being, your energy. First, you must invest your energy. And so on this journey, people who don't even give their energy to their future, to their businesses, they are here. You can just feel the vibration. They are casual about their future. You cannot make, like, anybody casual about this game, the future, legacy, business, they're not serious. There's a separation. That's why people form clubs, association. The serious people, they're not doing unserious things. They're not doing unserious things. They're not. So to the level of your seriousness about the life you say you want and the things you want to do, and how you believe those things can help you achieve it faster, quicker, right? At the highest levels, the language we speak is faster, better, cheaper. And when we say cheap, cheap is not cheap to entry level. Cheap is, if I don't make this investment now, today, I'll still pay a price that is more expensive down the line. Successful people know how to make that equation. Is what we say, penny foolish, is it pound foolish, penny wise? You know that saying? People who are trying to pinch. Oh, you don't want to invest. You don't want to invest. Listen. You will still pay a price whether you like it or not. It might be health, it might be stress. It will come out in different ways. We know this. Successful people, they are not about to pay that heavy price. So they understand that money is a utility. They use money to acquire the things that will help them do what they're trying to do faster, help them be who they are trying to be faster. Successful people get that. So they don't procrastinate, because a day wasted is another day they've not become. But unsuccessful people, listen, they can drag this thing for a year, for 5 years. This thing, they are ready to drag it. Why? Why? The question is why. Go figure that out. Why? 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 Listen, we'll figure it out together. Is the question of the day. Why do people drag around? When I say quantum leap, my message is quantum leap is that when you invest in my programs, the promise of my program is that in a year, you do the 10-week accelerator, you do all these programs. In a year, what it took people 20 years to become, you achieve it. Mentally, emotionally, skill development. That's the promise of my school. Now, again, mindset, check your own psychology. Any story now that whispers to you on why what I just shared is not true, that's your psychology. That's the limitation. And that's the thing that always keeps people behind, the way they think. Right? If you don't deal with that at the inner level, that's all. That idea in of itself, it doesn't help people move forward. Is when I say people are so connected and married to the past, to their past. And so when the future shows up and the future tells you, I can help you do more, I can help you be more, believe in me, invest in me. Listen, God is always telling us that. Do you believe God, or you're afraid, right? Of you're afraid or doubting. But those are the inner work. That's what I say. Our relationship with the truth of who we are has to also change, because the side of us that can do this work is the divine side, that is a visionary, that is an architect, that is a builder, right? That becomes, right, the person that can persuade other people to believe. So the idea will help you persuade yourself to believe. That's the first journey. And then you build what you believe. The sales part is now you have to evangelize. This is the evangelist, right? You have to now build, right? Make believers of your community, your world, right? Elon Musk will make us all believe in electric cars, so you invest, right? So as a salesperson, professional, right? Not just the engineer that builds all these amazing product services, you've done that. To sell it, you are a believer, and you have to make other people a believer. Okay? She's a world leader, bravo. We have to. Yes, share. It says we Africa. Let me put this. Okay, no, this is too funny. I appreciate the feedback. But guess what? If you're going to do anything for your community, share this, which is what Cameron is saying. Says we Africans need more of Toyins. Yes, share this. The passion I have is that this knowledge is a game changer for communities. So while I will come on social media and do this work, trust me, I also partner with my city government. I have a TV show running in my city, right? I also bring this message. So whether you take this message or not, and I do encourage you to take this, you are speaking with someone that has worked with the top leaders in the world, and I continue to. You are accessing the best in class business education in the world that most people cannot even access. I bring it, I will do social stuff like this. In my city, I also partnered with my city government. Listen, every week I go into studio. You see me host US government, Exim Bank, SBA leadership, government leaders, business leaders, authors. We feature it in my city. Now we just launched the city just launched an app. We have a citywide app. You can watch my 2 shows, Mindset of an Entrepreneur. We have 21 episodes there, breaking down my book. We also have Quantum Leap. We're growing. And that content is exclusive for my city, TV. And so, because many people online and they're not in my city, the second largest city in Illinois, next to Chicago, right? We're the second largest city in Illinois, okay? This is another community of global, global people. I will bring you the same message. 2 years ago, I designed a program for United Nations, training entrepreneurs from 38 countries. My husband is a professor. He's busy in school teaching people chemistry. I am busy teaching business. Take this school and run with it. It's a game changer. World class. Listen, executives at the biggest companies in the world, listen to me. We are not here to play. I don't play. I'm very direct. Because this is about livelihood, this is about legacy, this is about the future, this is about your children. Will your children also, when they graduate, be looking for a job, or would they be running your empire? When I talk about legacy, what you do with your time, energy, and resources while you're here, what you create with your time, energy, and resources, whether it will last beyond you, whether future generations will benefit from your work. That's your legacy. So visionaries and legacy builder have to think, you have to think beyond survival. This is not survival. Listen, I could be, if it is, there are many ways of making money than me vibrating and teaching. But this is purpose. This is passion. This is a calling. And I found my own space. Go find yours. Find yours. Live the life you're passionate about. That's why I say I will passionately sell you a future that you want. And I will sell you tools that will help you build the future of your dream. I will passionately, listen, see me 60, 70, I will be vibrating like this. I will be convincing, persuading, encouraging, because we have seen the future. I have experienced the future. Do this work and change your life. Change, not just your life, change your community. Pass it on. Take this video, pass it on. Let's change the thinking and mind. This is the skills of world builders, community builders, economic warriors, economic fighters. This is it. Let's build a global community of sales professionals that, listen, you are not dependent, no matter what an employer says, you can go out there and sell and build your own economy. That's what I'm talking about. Because you are entering an era, you can't depend on an employer. Forget it. Too much? Welcome to Toyin's world. Welcome. It's wake up time. It's wake up call, right? It's about time we get these things right. Get clear. What do you want? And let's do this work. It's work. But we will play. We will work. Play and work. We will have fun. We'll go on retreat. That's why I host my summit. Listen, I know how to host listen, we will have fun. We will laugh. We will relax. We will play. We will have fun. And then we will turn around and do the work. It goes hand in hand. But pleasure without this work, you are not moving forward. But let's mix it together. The best of life. Let's enjoy and then show up to perform. Right? Let's show up. We'll do it in a creative way. We'll do it in a fun way. We'll have a good time. Because I mean, what's life if you're not enjoying yourself, right? So passionately create, passionately pursue the future you want. And so again, when it comes to pricing is relative, very, very, very relative to the context of the buyer. Because what is the difference between a $10 shoe and a $10,000 handbag? Really, if it's not that the buyer has a concept of value that is elevated. You see, the difference between luxury. Why do people move into luxury? Is because when you want to be treated in an elevated version, you will invest in it. If you want anything goes, any $10, 20, then buy it. You're satisfied. Meaning you're satisfied at that level. People who are not satisfied at that level, listen, you can't stop them. They will go at length to pursue the best things in the world, the most, because they think they deserve it. So as you think in your heart, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you believe you deserve it, you will give it to yourself. If you feel you don't deserve it, nobody can convince you to give it to yourself. So those who desire to be professional at the highest level, sitting in rooms with government, building a world-class business, you will understand what I'm saying. You will step up to the game. And if you think whatever you're doing right now is sufficient, there's no, right? You create the vision you have for yourself. So pricing is also a concept that is in the context of the consumer, is that what do I want to give myself? What do I want to build? What life do I want? And the pride I have in myself makes me behave a certain way, makes me make certain choices, right? Make me say no and make me say yes to certain things. That's why I say you have to become more. You have to imagine more of yourself to be deserving of more. People who do not want to be more, how can you attract more? Psychology. So those who desire to be at the top of the world, they are there. You don't stumble into success. You don't. Success in any form, business, any form, whether in sports as a basketballer, golfer, music artist, nobody stumbles into becoming the best in the world. Nobody does that. But you can stumble into being the least. Do nothing different. That place is already, the list is always set. But more, that's the climb. That's the work. That's the pressure. That's the pursuit. That's the desire. And what I have found is that people who set their eyes and gaze on the best in the world, they tend to give that life everything. It's not about money. They will throw everything they have towards that life because they want to conquer. Everybody else that wants to settle at the top, at the bottom, they only give a little. They're not going much. They don't want to go far. So they only give a little. So pricing is the same way. Is that you have to pick the types of people, the types of mindsets you can actually serve comfortably, that you can work with, right? You have to pick. So Louis Vuitton, Lamborghini, Mercedes-Benz, right? These companies, they pick. They just say, you know what? We only want to serve people who have an elevated view of the world and believe that elevated view, to see, the penthouse view costs more than the ground floor. Those who go to the penthouse and carve out all that money, they want to see the view from the top. That's what they are paying for. Life is like that. Life is like that. Life is like that. You want the view at the top, you pay the price. If you're okay with for ground floor view, that's okay. So pricing, there are multiple dimensions. When I teach it, again, there are workbooks and everything in my school, but I'm just trying to activate a different way of seeing these things from different angles. That you can price anything all you want, but the context, the mindset and emotion of your buyer, listen, will determine who will buy or not. You can do all this work, create all these things, create the best thing in the world. I'm telling you, one person takes a look, says, oh, why is this too expensive? Another person comes, grabs it, says, this is so good. In fact, it's not as expensive as what I paid that other coach. Thank you, Coach Toyin. What's the difference? Mindset, emotions of different people. So when you are selling things, the red bottom shoe company will put a price tag on their shoe. Some people will say, oh, it's too expensive. Some people will say, oh, here's your money. And then they will climb the stage. People who want to speak on a stage, that money will pay for itself by climbing the stage and showing the audience your red bottom. Listen, you've gotten your money back. If you're a celebrity and they tell you this dress is $10,000, $10,000 is nothing. Somebody else that is not living that life will say, whoa, I could pay my rent and this and mortgage with that. Where the life you are living or the one you want to live, you invest in it to keep it. So those who serve people with product and services, you've got to consider the mindset of the people you're serving will determine your pricing. It will. And I'm helping somebody today. You've been offering your products and services, and everybody around you is saying it's too expensive. Change your location. Run away from them. They don't value your value enough. Go and find the people that value your value. I'll leave that there. Is there another question? Okay, Ochiaga says facts. Okay. Listen, I don't have to talk. This now that I have to be drinking water. This is a passion project to elevate more people into higher dimensions. When I'm in the rooms with ambassadors, with leaders, they don't put me. I don't have to. I don't talk like this. It's a different toy. It's a different toy. It's a different toy. But we have to do this work. You have to do this work. You want to go. Listen, when I was in corporate and my SAP, I'm an SAP certified consultant. Listen, my SAP professionalism, you will pay me $500 per hour. Per hour. Forget it, not per month, per hour. So there are many things we could be doing if it's about money, but this is much more. This is impact. This is legacy. This is transformation. This is it. So I'll passionate. Listen, I'll be giving you certificates everywhere. But I'm saying this to let people know. Pick your lane. Get clear on who you want to serve. Get clear on your message to the marketplace. Do the work. Empower yourself. Educate yourself. And also have a vision of where you're going. Because that vision will propel us into this. It will propel us into, where we invest our time, energy, and resources. It ought to be like what you want to create ought to be influencing what you're doing every day. Okay? Cameron says this was amazing. I appreciate it. Listen, I came out here to really inspire, to educate, to motivate, and to challenge you, to challenge us. I'm challenging myself too, because I need to be reminded. You know why I need to be reminded? I started working, Fortune 1. For me to now, listen, people, I remember one person saying, "Toyin, what are you doing on YouTube?" I said, "I'm teaching." Many times I have to remind myself to just take a breath air, because trust me, on this street of social media, don't forget who you are. Don't forget your future. I love, the beautiful thing is that the things I do behind the scenes, I so much love it too. You see this one, but trust me, when I'm in my studio, when I'm in the studio, interviewing guests in the TV show, I love it. When I'm in the boardroom, I love it. When I'm doing my high level hosting summits, ambassadors, that's the life. But when I remember that many people also have a future and a destiny to be great, to do great things, we have to remember. And those of us that we are achieving, we need to then create, a path. Google will give you a map. They've been there. You are coming behind. Follow. Buy the map. Follow. You will arrive. Quantum leap. And those who say they don't want to follow, they want to go and clear their own path. Whatever you see on that path, it's not that God hasn't given you a leader. God hasn't given you a way out. I am out here to tell you, listen, I will remind you, I will keep saying roadmap to business growth and success. I will say Quantum Leap, the Entrepreneurs Academy. I will be here telling you every day, every day, every day. You see me post. I will passionately post and share and invite you to invest. Be passionate and desire to take, right? Things that will help you become the person you want to become and to do the things at the heights. I'm very particular, the heights of success. Become unstoppable. Okay? Become unstoppable. That's the key. Many programs will only take you a mile, but this journey, it's a long journey. We have to pack. You want to go to the heights of success, right? The right relationships. It's not just on social media, click. The most rewarding relationship, please join your chambers of commerce. Get in touch with government resources. The best resources you can't access on social media. Sorry, I wish you could. You've been on social media for how many years? Most of the things that we do, it's not on social media. But I know people are focusing here. That's why I host sessions like this, to call people and invite people into private spaces, because most of this work is done privately. You just see the results out there. Okay. Passion sells, desire buys. Hunger, right? People must be hungry. You can't feed people that are not hungry. Yeah. The vibration is, people, God will even say, if you seek me, you will find me. Bible will say, ask and you shall receive. Maybe because God has been trying to spoon feed us and we are reject. Don't be rejecting. Now God will say, okay, be hungry enough to ask me. Ask, you will receive. Seek, you will find. Knock on the door. So there is a movement that you have to make that attracts and pulls everything you want into, right? Everything you want to create, pulls it together. And so many people who don't want to move, who haven't activated desire, who are not hungry enough, they're still doubting. That I say doubt is like putting a brake on your car. You're like, it's not. There are some emotions that will propel you: clarity, knowledge, skill, systems, processes. When you have those things, it's an accelerant. Quantum, you accelerate your journey to success. When you have the skills, the knowledge, the capacity, the resources, all these things to achieve your goals, it's an accelerant. Boom, nothing stops you. But when you're doubting, you don't know what steps to take, you're confused, right? You don't know what next to do, you are fearful, you're holding on to the past because you don't know what tomorrow will hold if you make this decision. That energy spirals people down. It's like pressing the brake on life. You don't move forward. People can be stuck in that energy field for a long time. That's why I teach all of these things together, because as an entrepreneur, you have to be hopeful, you have to be believing, you have to be a visionary. That's what gets you taking another step, trying again, trying again, trying again. Listen, you have to make a commitment, right? You have to actually tell life, listen, I'm not stopping until I see what I saw. What made you start? You actually have to. Okay, is this helping somebody? Psychology. You have to talk to your mind. You see this mind? You have to bring it to order. Chaos is not good for your mind. Confusion is not good for your mind. You need clarity. You need instruction. First, persuade your mind to go on this journey with you. You need it in sales. Persuade your mind to invest and do the things that will help you achieve your results. Don't let it sabotage you. Don't let your mind confuse you. Don't let it give you doubt. Don't believe all those stories, right? In my classes, I tell you how to craft new stories that will start your engine, that will give you mobility, that will pump you up. If it's music, play the music, exercise, start your day believing. Start your day pumped up. You need it in sales, by the way. In sales, the personal discipline. Get your mind, to, you tell your mind, today, this is what we're doing. I don't care. Don't tell me what I cannot do. I'm telling you, this is what we're doing. And then you do it. Do that enough time, your mind will start believing you, to take you seriously more. Many people have left their minds untrained. They've let their mind run there. No, you are supposed to bring your mind. It's a tool. Use it to propel yourself forward. If you don't command your mind, if you don't control your emotions, it will run you everywhere. It's part of the skills of success. Bring yourself back. A double-minded person cannot receive anything from God. Don't be double-minded. Clear the weed. Show your mind the way. We are going this way. We are enrolling. We're investing. We're buying the book. We're taking the class. Put your mind to work. Because education is how you train yourself for success. You have to open your mind. If you're an untrained mind, whoo, how do you deal with that? It's everywhere and nowhere. Part of training is giving yourself one direction to follow. When you give a mind a direction to follow, beautiful. The mind is beautiful. It performs. You want to go from point A, Chicago to California, give it a roadmap. Your mind is beautiful at leading you to success. You don't give it a roadmap. Hey, you drive a little, the mind will say, where are we going? You say, I don't know. The mind will say, okay, let's park the car, let's ask. You now say you don't want to ask. The mind will go, well, until you ask and give me more instructions, let's stay here. So our mind needs guidance, direction, nourishment, right? Education, enlightenment. This is something that is forward. It gives you, makes you forward. So if you're a sales professional, you have to keep growing. You have to keep training yourself to improve, to get better every single day. It's a journey. It's a journey. You have to improve, you have to improve, you have to, and it's not content. Listen, this is not content. You can listen to content, but if that content you don't digest it, you wake up tomorrow morning, does the mind remember? It doesn't remember. The mind doesn't remember information you don't digest. When you sleep at night, it will tell you the last 24 hours. What did you scroll? The 4 hours you spent on social media. The mind is now trying to filter and extract meaning from it. If it's not rich enough, the mind will just throw everything in the garbage. We'll try again. So many people are trying again, simply because they are passive. You can't be a passive participant in growth. You cannot. You cannot sit back listening to me and say, good, feels good. You know what you're doing? You're just drugging yourself dopamine, feel good emotion. That's all you're getting. If all you do is say, hello, Toyin, this is good, this is amazing, okay? The emotion will give you dopamine. You wake up tomorrow. What did Toyin tell me? What can I use? I'm telling you the secrets of training. If you start doing this, you will change your life forever. Learn. Learning is thinking deeply and extracting meaning that is useful. Put it to use. Do something differently, become a different person. That's when all of this really makes sense. Okay? Okay, let me see more comments. Passion sells, desire buys. Put my name on that. It's a quote, Toyin quote. I have tons of Toyin quotes. Thank you, everybody. I've enjoyed myself. If I don't enjoy myself, listen, right? Why are we doing this? I've done my own work. I'm here to sell you, right? Secrets to success, roadmap to business growth and success. We need it. We need it. Showing you what works. Mindset, work, self-actualization, business skills development. Listen, relationship, spiritual psychology, we need it all. The 360 is the most advanced training program for visionary entrepreneurs and business owners. I've dedicated years to building this thing up. Enroll. Start doing the work. Start transforming yourself to become unstoppable. It's a lot of inner work. You have to be the person that can build the future God has showed us, right? Any other questions? I know the pricing desire, it's, trust me, you can price products and services at any price. Number one, it's tied to your own belief, right? I can price anything any way I want. It's tied to my own belief, what I believe I deserve, what I believe the market will pay me. But there's a psychology, there's my own psychology, but you must, it's a matrix. You must marry it with the psychology of the people you want to present this thing towards. When I'm doing work with businesses at the top of their game, if I'm hosting my events, I'll just give you an example because I sell different things. Let's say I'm hosting my summits and I'm selling sponsorship, and the sponsorship is governments and businesses. Listen, let's start this thing at 10K. Let's not go to, let's not do $5, let's just start with 10K. Going. Let's start the bidding at 10K. Maybe 5 because of COVID. But 10K is really the nice place. They have budgets for it. And the value, again, through their eyes, it matches. So when I'm hosting government, when I'm doing this, when I'm selling platforms, events, global summits where there are ambassadors, the tickets look different because the people, the conversation, the people the platform is designed for is a caliber of people. They won't blink, they'll pay it. Exhibitors, just give 1K, come and take your space, bring your banner, let's showcase your work to the world. Easy breezy, beautiful. You see? Coaching book, it is designed for people at the entry level of all of these things. that want to participate at the highest levels, but they don't have the skills. They've not developed the knowledge. They might be coming out of corporate as employees, trying to become entrepreneurs, struggling. I've listened, I've gained, like I've learned. I teach at business schools. I see the struggle. Let's create a ladder. Let's create a way out, a way up from ground floor to penthouse. Quantum leap. I've dedicated myself to say, you want to participate at this level, you see me participating. Here's a way up. Take this class, branding, mindset, success mindset, 12 strategies for winning in life and business, 30 keys to unlock success, how to brand, how to market, how to do market research, your customers and clients, business model engineering, how to do lead generation, advanced sales, millionaire mindset program. Listen, 300 resources in my school over the years I've been building up on. Why? To show people the way from wherever they are, to say all things are possible, but you have to step by step invest the time and energy in the right dimension to help you grow. So I have clarity. So when I'm speaking to those people, right, it's not just what I want to charge. It's not that I don't know my worth. No. But I also understand this thing I'm teaching you today, the psychology of the people that I designed this for. The way they think, they've never made this investment in themselves. So you even have to convince them to invest in their own future. That's the struggle, guys. I don't have to convince a CEO to invest in his company. I don't have to. All I have to do is offer, and he says yes or no, and my job is done. Email, proposal, read the proposal, yes or no. Don't put me to work. It's easy, breezy, beautiful, because they are already invested. Right? Board level, multi-million-dollar investments into the future. You don't have to convince these people to spend in the direction of their future a few thousand. No. They're already committed. But you see on the streets of social media, I get it. This is the assignment, right? The psychology, the things, the thoughts and things holding people back has to be broken. Because nobody has told you that the way up is to invest and learn new skills to unlock the future that God is showing you. Nobody has said it. So I will patiently do YouTube. I will patiently teach you this. I will patiently, because we are committed. I'm thinking not just about today. 5 years from, I've seen my students graduate. It doesn't even take you that much. The big things they are doing, that is what I hope other people can do, because the dreams God has given us, everybody, right, carries greatness within them. The question is, only those, it's actually only those who invest and nurture their own greatness will be great. If you haven't heard that, let me tell you, you are born great. As a baby, you are born great. But you see, to nurture greatness, to nurture your greatness, that is the work. You are the seed of greatness. But to draw it out, be ready, get ready, guys. Get ready. Greatness is yours already. You see, Joseph was already told, right? His future was already shown to him. But to become the Joseph that can do the work for the prime minister, some of you have destinies. You are rulers of nations, rulers of cities. And you are telling me you will not nurture your greatness. You are still on social media scrolling. God will say, Gideon, mighty man of valor, hiding and threshing floor. Come out, come out, come out, come out. I have great assignment for you. Some of you are hearing me right now. That's the message. You are scrolling behind Instagram. But God is saying, come out from among them. God is calling the leaders. Leaders. He's calling you out. You've been hiding in corporate. You've been hiding. God sees you. This is time to train. It's time to train. Spend the next 5 years becoming unstoppable, because destiny calls. Nations will need you. Communities will need you. You have to build. As you are building yourself, you now have to build other people. You have to build other people. I can easily say, this. No. We have to take destiny seriously. So this message is only for, you know, those who are ready to nurture greatness. Look around you. People don't know who you are because you've not showed them who you are. So I know we are talking about business, but trust me, everything is connected. Everything is connected. Who you become will determine what you can do. Who you become will determine what you can do. We have to become more so that we can do more. Kenneth, it's been a minute. I've been seeing some great work you're doing out there. Do you want to say something before I close this out? I've already spent a lot of time on this one. Okay, Kenneth is okay. Yes, I'm bringing you up. Thoughts, reactions. How have you been? Yeah.
Hello, Auntie Toyin. Good evening.
Auntie
Good to
Toyin.
hear your voice again. Yep. How are you?
I'm doing great, brother Kenneth. Sorry? Go ahead, please. I'm good. I think there's a lot of background noise, but
I think
also there's a delay. I think there's also a delay.
is it better?
Okay, go ahead, please.
Better?
Yes.
All right. So thank you for sharing as usual. And yes, I think I joined about when you were mentioning that transition from employee to entrepreneurship, climbing the ladder through some of the programs that you do, and it's something that is always touches home, because that transition can be very tricky, and we keep telling people that when you're an employee, the salary is guaranteed, except you do something really terrible. But when, because you're sure that at the end of the month, they'll give you something. You just have to do the bare minimum. But when you are an entrepreneur, every income you get is based on the value you deliver. It's as simple as that. And nobody is good. If you are the kind of person waiting for instructions from the boss, you're not going to make it as an entrepreneur, because you just have to be creative, you just have to be different, and you just have to be aggressive, you know? So we keep trying to grow into that mode where you are not just trying to follow books, rule books and steps and procedures, and then they mark you and say, yes, you have done the KPI, take your salary. That doesn't work in the world where you have to create the value that generates your income. And I also was struck by the confidence you talked about when you said, this is what I'm charging. It's either you say, I want you, I don't want you. And I think it takes a very deep level of expertise to get to that point where you say, if you can pay, pay. If you cannot pay, let me go to the next buyer. So it's a big level, and and thank you for sharing that. Let me stop here for now.
Oh wow. Okay. I love thank you for being here and offering your perspective and even the summary and your takeaways. I always love that. It shows you are also a writer, and it shows that you've digested some of those things and personalized it. So this concept of, okay, who is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is different from a business owner, and many people don't make that transition. You can be a perpetual entrepreneur. It's like being a bachelor forever without being married. It's a different role. So an entrepreneur, we can say, somebody that has an idea and is able to commercialize an idea. You can take an idea, is a concept, an abstract concept, and you can turn it into money, meaning you can create value and you can bring it to the marketplace and somebody is willing to pay you for it. An entrepreneur can do that every day. But if that is where you stop, people are missing the whole point of all of these things. This is why people build businesses that do not last beyond them. Okay? Because you can do that every day. All you have to do is keep showing up, keep showing up, keep showing up. You sustain. Because it's also the mindset of the employee that makes people only design sustainability. As long as I can get my pay out of these activities, I'm good. That is still the employee mindset speaking and directing the entrepreneur's journey. What I teach And what drives the way I teach is we are going for business ownership, and it's tied to assets, valuation, structure, systems, processes that hold value with or without you. With or without you. Entrepreneurs are, listen, everything I build, and I teach what I do what I teach. Watch what I do. When I talk about, I manage multiple brands, but every brand has an identity with or without me. In fact, for many years, you won't see my face. It's because I have to teach and coach and guide. That's why you're seeing me here. I've always been a woman behind many brands that you know, but you didn't know I was the one. In fact, oh my gosh, I had to take on this role of Coach Toyin for me to show my face and be teaching and investing and mentoring and guiding and teaching classes in my school and coaching to raise a new generation of people who can do this work for themselves, for their cities, for their nation. So I build brands. That's why the way I teach, the reason I started teaching is, listen, if you like what I'm doing, I'm already teaching people in my school how to do it. Build something. It's like having a baby. Don't just give the baby, like, give the baby a name. Give it an identity. Let the baby run and grow into its own self. You can bet many babies, you know. I've talked about this when I was teaching about niche or no niche. If you have the capacity, you know, Elon Musk will do Tesla, will do this, will do that. But there's a skill, right, to structuring a business that can run without you. This is what most people don't know how to do. It is a skill. You can be an entrepreneur, but be missing the skill of business structuring in a way where that business become an asset you can sell or transfer. That is, so I make a distinction. You can go out there, come up with an idea and sell a widget all you want. Fine. But do you know one thing? Every product and service has a life cycle. It will rise up and die. There's a curve. What doesn't die is your promise in the marketplace, and it sits at the brand level. IBM has existed for how many years? What they started with, we don't know today, but they reinvented. You can only reinvent yourself when a brand, okay, is recognizable. That's what lasts. That's what we remember. Microsoft will remember you. Windows 95, where is it? Products and services, they have a duration. Mercedes-Benz 2000 and this, every year they are engineering. Why is it? Because in the mindset of your consumers, they forget your last success. So many people will be carrying products and services. The product and services is the one not working. It's not you. You have to keep listening to the marketplace, to the demand, what we call demand signals. In my book, I included some of this, and I said there are industries, emerging industries, dying industries, right? Growing industries. You are operating not just in a silo. You need to understand what's happening within your industry. A certain product can be rejected in the marketplace. If you don't pivot, that's it. But brand is your promise. We are here to deliver this. How we deliver it can change from time to time. iPod, where is iPod? But Apple is still here. So when people say they are entrepreneurs, but nobody knows, they didn't build a brand, they didn't invest in the brand, they didn't make the brand known, they don't talk about the brand, there's no PR for the brand is not known, and they are saying, buy my product, buy my service. When the world says enough, we do this product and service, it's not relevant to where we are going as a world. This is why people give up, because they've tried to push products that are gone. Right? Products that the world is saying. You want to push pencil. People have moved on to iPad. You are pushing pencil. People are still using pencil, right? So, right? But imagine coming into the industry and say, I want to be a pencil pusher. It's a shrinking marketplace. Right? So the entrepreneur, you can take your idea, commercialize. That's what I see all over When I see people on social media, I see Clubhouse. Oh, my product is this. My this is this. You go to their website. No brand recognition. In fact, when that session is over, nobody remembers what you told them. So you have to keep coming back. The entrepreneur has to keep coming back, reminding people. You're not memorable, because what is memorable is the brand. Literally, brand means imprint. Your imprint in the hearts and minds of the people is what stays with them. That's what they remember. That's what they remember. So if you're just saying buy this, buy now, that's not an imprint. It's not an imprint. Who remembers how many things they scrolled past yesterday? People saying buy this, buy now, buy now. That's not an imprint. An imprint is memorable. You need to do that. Anyway, I interviewed the author of Beloved Brands on my TV show last week. It's available on my YouTube. Like, this person was vice president for Johnson & Johnson. 45 minutes engaging. You know, when I host my shows, you guys have to be tapping into these resources and bringing to you. Former vice president of Johnson & Johnson, he educates marketing executives at the biggest companies in the world, literally, right? He's the author of Beloved Brands, how to build a brand your people will love, or your customers will love. I had him on my show, 45 minutes. The other week, I had a leader from US Export-Import Bank, the Bank of the United States of America, on how they will help you go international. The financial instruments they can give you. It's on my YouTube. I spend time in the TV show bringing people you cannot access, that have resources. They won't put this. The gap is that you can't find these things on social media because they cannot speak on social media because of the sensitivity of their day job. I'm just giving you behind the scenes. There are many. This is the gap, part of the gap I'm feeling. There are many resources. I sit on a council, Illinois District Export Council, by appointment of the U.S. Secretary of Commerce. There are many resources we talk about. State resources, federal resources, ready for Illinois exporters. How do we engage them? How do we share with them? How do we talk to them? How do we invite them to participate? These things are taxpayer paid. Come and take it. People will see that you love scrolling. These things are not on scrolling. You have to actually show up physically at the events we are hosting. You actually have to physically go to their stand, get their business card, talk to them, and then set up appointment virtually. You have to do that. This is the time, guys. There are so many things out there. I know you said something, but everything is connected. Everything I do is connected to equipping, empowering, educating our community with the skills to grow the business, right, and life you want. That's my own passion. I take it seriously. My husband is passionate about chemistry. He's all over his students with give me chemistry, professor, PhD organic chemistry. I can't touch that stuff, right? Organic chemistry, that stuff. It takes a unique person to understand it. But he is super, super, super passionate, just as I am with my own stuff, business education. So passion sells. I'll sell you my passion, and I'll invite you. Listen, desire this stuff. Invest in your future. Let's do this work together. Always a pleasure, guys. Caleb, wrap up. Kenneth, any reply?
Sorry.
Oh, Kenneth, go on.
Yes. Just two things. The first one is interesting that you talked about the product versus the brand.
Okay.
Earlier today, my virtual assistant brought my attention to a quote. Somebody said that companies that focus on one product make the most money, and then everybody was arguing about what you said, pivoting versus one product, focus, etc. And I think you shared partly your perspective on that by talking about the fact that successful companies build brands. Products will always change. Products transit from one to the other. The important thing is that, are you memorable enough for us to be enthusiastic about your next product? And that is insightful.
Okay.
The other thing you said was this interview with Johnson & Johnson. I was maybe in another session we can talk deeply about it. Sometimes at that level, I feel that whatever the experienced person who is operating at that level is able to share, I'm not sure how useful it is to the entrepreneur who is operating at maybe 200 staff or 10 staff, right? And he's trying to learn something. Probably maybe he can learn the principle, but it seems very distant what he's able to communicate may seem very distant to somebody who hasn't started operating at his level, if I may say so. I don't know what you think about that.
No, I get what you're saying. The beautiful thing, you are right, you're on point. But the beautiful thing is that in that interview, I actually started my interview with him, asking him how was his own transition from being a vice president at Johnson and Johnson to become an entrepreneur. So that's one of the things, that is a value people must never discount. The fact that I served as a strategy for Fortune 1, Walmart, and left and navigated the terrain of entrepreneurship and deciding that I want to teach people what I learned along the way that works. That is incredible value. And this person, the reason I brought him on the show as well, in addition, yes, to working with the highest levels, he also embodies, right, his own struggles, right? So he actually shared that it was a challenge for him to transition. And he also talked about the salary, that many people want to do entrepreneurship, but the allure of a standard salary keeps us all. So we talked about that at the beginning. So I think part of the way I shape my show again is because while again I occupy these spaces, I can decide to just disappear and not be online. Part of my own passion is again creating a staircase to say, from where you are, if you are willing to invest, you can take step by step, listening to people that have gone ahead of you. Yes, when he was a vice president, but trust me, entrepreneurship doesn't care if you are a vice president or not. You will have to start to build your own name, build your own reputation, build on top of whatever you're coming from. Because when we are working with big brands, right, the whole world knows us. It's easy. But the day you step out, people will start asking you questions. Who are you? Why? What? They will behave as if they don't know you. So you actually have to build all over again. So that video definitely is going to help you. Okay. Now, when you talk about brand and products and people who make money from one product, listen, what I shared before is different from what you're saying. Let me share with you. Now I can respond with my own stand on it. When you start as a beginner, general advice, perfect a product. Amazon started with what? Amazon started with what? What did Amazon start with?
I think that was
Books. Okay, good. It perfected, because what is most valuable? Let me tell you this secret. It doesn't even matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter what you're selling. What matters most is the infrastructure and your operational excellence. I've worked for Walmart. We can sell sand. We can sell you we can sell you any. I work for a company that sells all things. It doesn't matter what you're selling in the world. It doesn't matter. But the distribution channel, right? The supply chain, the warehousing, the system excellence, what you put, the backbone that your infrastructure is built on, that's where the value is. That's where the asset is. When you build, you can build it behind one product or two, it doesn't matter. But once you build that infrastructure, that distribution channel, once you become an influencer, you can sell anything. You can use your influence to sell anything. I'm just trying to be funny here. However, so that you can start there, but if you stay there, you are never going to grow big. You know why? When we talk about market share, the pie, the size of the market, when you do the research of the size of your market, let me give you an example. If you're a car manufacturer, okay, what you start realizing is you want to understand, what are people spending and what are they spending it on, and who is spending what on what, and why are they spending it. Once you start going to that more advanced level of market demographic, you realize that if all you are doing is going after one slice of the market, you are just a percentage of a slice. The reason and the way people grow their business, when it's time to grow, this is the growth phase. Remember, I talk about ideation, plan, build. In the growth space and the scaling space, this is where you do this work. You can build for one, but to grow, to scale, you cannot scale on one product. because the size of the ocean you are swimming with, you have already boxed yourself in. So a business that gets into the growth stage, you start diversifying, because guess what? If you own 5% of this market share, you own 2% of this market share, you start tapping into multiple market share. Before you join, Kenneth, I talked about money as a river. Okay, you may want to listen to the replay. And I talked about what are you going to go to the river, leverage. What system are you going to go with to fetch, to contribute value and to take value? You can do a spoon, a cup, right, a bucket, or even just build your facility. Those who stay in Washington, D.C., they build their facility next to where the money is being printed. Before it gets to the news, they've already cut their deals. I'm just joking, but that's what the way it works. So when you are starting, you can confuse the marketplace if you are doing many things. And I'm there. Like, what I mean by I'm there is I can teach this because I live it. One moment you hear me say Trade with Africa. Another moment you hear me say Entrepreneurs Academy. Another moment you say Quantum Lead TV show. Another moment, people, Toyin, what is this all about? Many people don't understand that each of those platforms serves different demographic of people. I can be on social media telling you entrepreneurship. Listen, I'm not going to an ambassador and saying this. In fact, what I will pitch an ambassador is, listen, bring money. I can help you train your country. If I go to United Nations, the pitch is different. I can help you develop a training program, For me, it's not just about one product. Please start and develop. Remember, I talked about skill. Whatever you build, when you build it, the best thing that actually happens to you is because you develop skill. The biggest thing building does for you is your skills. Once you develop the skill, and the people I train, they do this, they don't do one thing anymore, because this skill, if you are a contractor, how many houses will you build? If you have the skill of building houses and you've perfected it, the first building will be very tough because you are learning. Once you perfect your skills, you will be a what do they call this? A developer. 100 houses. 100, right? That's where growth is. The skill you develop, you can deploy, and you have the capacity for more. But those who do not have capacity to be going after 100 houses, please build one house. Let us see it first. Let's make sure it's not leaking. Let's make sure electricity is not shocking anybody. Let's make sure your foundation is not cracking. Let's make sure the roof is not caving. Build one best. That's the challenge of the day. People want to, God will always show you the vision of the grand, the greatness. But trust me, in the middle, you will grow. You will grow into that great side of you. So, yes, one product is like an arrowhead strategy. You are precise. You only have one message for the marketplace. Buy this, buy now, this. It's clear. People understand you, and people can buy into one, right? But if that is all you're doing, you're still playing in the small leagues. That's okay. If what you want is survival and to make money, that you pay your salary, you do this, that's fine. No judgment. But how the biggest? Listen, you build this factory. I mean, but right? So it's really, it's just a different strategy for a different maturity level. Entry level, get ready to build one right. It's like your prototype. Do you understand? Let's build the prototype, build it right, gain the skills, know how everything is put together. Once you know all of this, most people that graduate from my school, they are not settling with one product. Which one product? When you have the skill. Elon Musk is, why don't you tell that to Elon Musk that you should be enough with Tesla? You should just sit down with it. You go after more. And the next thing you are going after will be bigger than the last thing you conquered. You go after more. The audacity. The audacity to pursue. The audacity, right? Why are we not telling Bill Gates, oh, Bill Gates, why don't you just sit down with Microsoft? No. Why didn't you tell Oprah, sit down with your show after 25 years? No, now she's producing multiple shows. She perfected one show for 25 years. Even our transition was rough, because you can tell me you are Oprah for 25 years, doesn't mean you'll be perceived as a producer and a television, blah, blah, blah. But she perfected one show, Oprah show. Today, own network. At least mature, get one right. You become unstoppable. Now you can pursue more, and the next thing you pursue will be greater than the last. That's what I'm telling people. Yes, you don't start with building skyscraper on non-existent skills. You don't. You wreck yourself. But the little thing, that's why God will say, what's in your hand? The little thing in your hand, perfect it. Perfect it. Perfect it. But people are not perfecting. People are not perfecting. That's the problem. They're trying to look for shortcuts. They're not developing. They're not growing. Right? They're not learning. That's the problem. They're looking for shortcuts. They want to jump over. And so, really, the future jumps over them. Children of Israel, promised land. Oh, no, we don't do the. Well, guess what? It skips a generation that doesn't do this work. It skips this work, it knows how to skip generation that doesn't want, that complain, that doesn't want to do this work. The reason I'm talking like this is that there's a different sound, there's a different challenge for people like God. There's something going on. Can people pick it up? There's a different sound. All things have lined up to favor people that are coming from behind. And guess what? You are going to overtake and go beyond. What took people 20 years? Listen, there are systems lined up for people like me to be out here doing this work. This is I'm somebody that serving as strategist for the biggest company in the world. Designing the most complex solution. SAP, go and read on SAP. SAP certified consultant since 2006. The most complex supply chain solutions for the biggest brands in the world. Bringing that to solve this and create a school that helps people accelerate their journey to business growth and success. It's a lot of years of work. But trust me, who is it for? Those who will quantum leap. Those who in a year, you won't recognize them again. So that's why I tell you, be careful who you are listening to. They are small people. People can only offer you what they have seen and what they know. So when the people who told you that one product people make more money, they are right, because that's where they are. That's their level. So they are offering you their vantage point. They can only see that is what is working. Take a little bit. That's why I say go higher a little bit. Go higher. Go higher. Many people are listening. The people we are seeing on social media, gosh, they can only teach you what they are doing. If you like what they are doing, if where they are is where you want to go, listen to them. They will lead you exactly to where they are. When you get there, you will now see that's not where God showed you. They are offering, and trust me, these people telling you this, they believe it, they will shout it, they will vibrate it passionately, because truly that's all they know. So they are teaching you what they know, and you are believing them. And guess what? You can only think at that level as well. I'm telling you, Fortune 500, Fortune 1 companies. Listen, Amazon started with books, right? With one. What are they? They are millions now, because that's hungry people. That's why they say there are billions of dollars of you think you can do billions of dollars chasing one demographic, right? No. Car companies. If you're a car company, go into a store now, do this assignment, go to a car showroom. You will see diversification in action. You will see a car for a family company, for women. You see a car for men. You see car sports. They diversify, because if the only people they are selling to is women with children, that's a slice of the buying market. So they will have vans for women that have children. They will have sports car for men. So that when you go into their showroom, you don't run out and say they don't have what you want. So they cater to different demographic. So car companies don't just sell one type of car. If all they are selling is one type of car, they know They are missing it. So the infrastructure they have, that showroom, is an overhead cost. Part of calculation when we do profitability analysis, this is more advanced stuff, right? Profitability, blah, blah, blah. Your overhead, your salary, whatever, whatever, right? Overhead costs. You want to make sure that you are flooding it with sales. You want to sell you want to make more money with the same overhead. So guess what? Have more products so that anybody that comes in, you have a higher chance of selling versus they walking away and say, oh, you don't have the car for my family. No, we have the car. We want 4-door, go here. You want 2-door, go here. You want roof moving, go here. You want luxury, go. You will see them, they now have different cars. What is that? Okay, different. So I know I've said a lot. I'm passionate about this. When I say teaching strategy, all of these things, right? So I have to go products, breakthrough barrier says product change is always driven by advancements in technology and what is going in the business world. Yes, I always say if you're an entrepreneur, study your market segment, study it, because where your market is going, you don't want to be surprised. Right? Where your market is going, you don't want to be surprised. So let me end. I got to go. Thank you. Toyin Umesiri Academy. Listen, world-class business education. Become a sales professional. Be unstoppable in your field. Let's go get the success, build the life and business we want. Okay? Thank you.